Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So 2 days ago, Terence Bradley retook the witness stand in the Fani Willis removal hearing. He is Nathan Wade's former divorce attorney and also his former partner. Terence Bradley had been texting back and forth with the prosecuting attorney and saying one thing, and then once he got on the stand, he stopped remembering what he said in the text messages. He kept looking over at Nathan Wade, and he seemed just visibly shook. Once he even was caught on hot mic muttering under his breath something like, "Oh, dang," or something like that. While he was on the witness stand, he couldn't recall properly or told a different story than what he was saying in this text exchange. Now we have the text from Nathan Wade's lawyer, and they appear to show more than speculation about the Fani Willis affair. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. He was claiming that in his text exchange that he was only speculating that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade were having a relationship prior to Fani Willis hiring Nathan Wade to prosecute Donald Trump and his associates in the RICO case. Let's play this clip right here. It's only 33 seconds.
Was 2 pages of text messages between you and Miss Merchant, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, the first page starts off by saying, Miss Merchant, like, just date, don't hire him. Do you think it started before she hired him? You see that?
There was. Did you hear that? He said, "Oh, dang," or "What? Dang." Like he read something that was in there that he forgot that he texted before. I don't know what his intentions were. He claimed at one point that he didn't realize that when he was texting Miss Merchant that she was gathering information to oppose Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. It became kind of obvious to me that he didn't want to repeat what he had said in those text messages right there in front of Nathan Wade. Maybe he was embarrassed or ashamed or whatever it is, but we can only speculate. Oh, so that was the end. I went ahead and played the "oh dang" part a couple times for you guys so that you can hear it. I had somebody comment on one of my recent videos that was talking about this, that he didn't actually say that. And there you can actually hear it and see it. You can see his lips move, and you can hear the words coming out of his mouth. So take it for what it is. What that is, I don't know. But doesn't look good, right? A trove of damning text messages from Nathan Wade's former divorce attorney seemingly showed his affair with Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis started before they claim it actually started. The texts have actually emerged. They wrote that really weird right there. The text exchange between Terence Bradley and Ashley Merchant, who was representing one of the clients in the Georgia election fraud case, which also includes Donald Trump, were revealed in full for the first time on Megyn Kelly's podcast on Wednesday. There's 17 pages right here, and you got to really zoom in. And we'll just read the article. I'm sure the article will highlight some of the best, most juicy parts, right? We've gotten our hands on text, Kelly said, opening her show, referring to the 413 message exchange. The admissions by Nathan Wade's friend and former law partner that they did not want you to see, she added. In the text, Bradley calls Willis and Wade arrogant as F, calls Merchant his friend, and says he trusts her. Do you think the affair started before she hired him? Merchant, representing co-defendant Mark Roman, texted Bradley in early January. Absolutely, Bradley responded. It started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton, which that is contradictory to what Fani Willis and Nathan Wade said from the witness stand in this judge's courtroom. And this judge is the sole decider on Fani Willis's fate. Will she stay as the lead prosecutor on this case for Trump and his associates? Furthermore, I believe that when the judge has no choice but to remove Fani Willis from this case, she will then be disbarred and possibly investigated for what I believe is perjury. From what I understand, you can't just go into a courtroom, swear to tell the truth, and then knowingly tell lies to protect your own butt. But you never know. They are Democrats, right? Special privilege. Continuing, Willis was judged in South Fulton in 2019, according to a Time magazine report. When confronted with this message on Tuesday while being grilled on the stand about Willis and Wade's relationship, Bradley had muttered, "Oh dang," to himself. He spent the rest of the hearing incredibly claiming not to remember basic details about when his former law partner and Willis met and started dating, and tried to explain away his messages as mere speculation. And I believe he was using lawyer speak by basically saying that he hadn't been an eyewitness to them doing anything, so that he couldn't 100% say that they were in that type of relationship, which, in my opinion, the judge is just going to take that as disrespect, and it's not helping you or Fani Willis or anybody that you might be trying to protect, which I believe Bradley was actually only out to protect himself. So Trump and his co-defendants are asking to have Willis taken off the case for lying about when she started seeing Wade, who she appointed as special prosecutor in the same case in November 2021. She and Wade have testified to the court that they got together in 2022 and broke up a year later. Merchant, the lawyers for Trump, have been submitting evidence to show they were actually together much before then. When asked about a list of other people, including some of who worked in Fulton County DA's office with Willis, who would know about their relationship, Bradley responded, "Subpoena them all." And that's interesting because I heard rumors yesterday that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade were actually having relations in their office. I don't know whose office, if it was his office or her office or both offices, but if that is the case, you got to think there was somebody else in the building. Maybe not. I think there's definitely a chance that somebody else out there knows about it. So Bradley has a good point. Subpoena them all. Part of the allegations against Willis include that she financially benefited from appointing Wade to the plum role in the Trump case, notably when he paid for her to go on trips, with him using cash earned on the job. Bradley seemed to be aware of these excursions, texting, "They took many trips to Florida, Texas, California to Merchant." Seemingly aware of this travel and Napa, Merchant replied. I believe he actually claimed that they took more trips than what we even knew about prior, but I guess you could say that that was all speculation too. Willis and Wade traveled to California when the former's daughter flunked out of college and moved to the state. Merchant wrote back they had a full-on relationship. Merchant subsequently vowed she would protect Bradley's identity in the notion that she was about to file, which claimed that Willis and Wade's relationship represented a conflict of interest in the election fraud case. When she asked how Willis and Wade would respond, Bradley suggested that the pair would deny it but would not attack Merchant. Despite his cavalier tone in the text messages, on Tuesday, Bradley appeared uncomfortable and tried to backtrack several of his prior comments. Closing arguments in the hearing to determine if Willis can stay on the case will be heard on Friday, and after that will be left to Judge Scott McAfee to make a ruling. It remains unclear how much weight will be given on the messages versus what Bradley said in court. But I find it pretty funny that Merchant vowed she would protect Bradley's identity in the motion, and then he was called to the witness stand. Maybe something changed. I think I actually do remember something about he said it would be best if I just went up there. Maybe he was just mad at Nathan Wade at the time or something when he was texting Ashley Merchant. An interesting thing about the text messages is earlier this week, it was yet to be determined if they were going to be admissible as evidence. But from what I understand, the Georgia Supreme Court is now looking into Fani Willis on a separate situation, and that they have subpoenaed the text messages themselves. That will make those text messages public, and that would allow the judge to look at them regardless, I believe. So, I could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. The text messages between Willis and Wade, the timeline, the pings, all the things that they have involved with the cell phone data, really is all the judge needs to make a ruling in this case, in my opinion. That, along with the fact that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade now admit that they have had a relationship in the past, all would suggest to me that the judge, like I've mentioned before, will have no choice but to remove Fani Willis from this case, and then she will hopefully be disbarred and investigated for lying. Like I said, you can't just swear to tell the truth and then knowingly lie about it. So hopefully these folks are held accountable. And if you agree with that, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.